Paul Newman with the Cashflow Cafe podcast. Today we have Mr. Paul Jackson on the show. I'm excited to talk to you about all things baseball, sports, business. So, Mr. Paul, in 1 minute or less, can you tell us all about yourself?
Well, yes, thank you for having me here, first of all.
Yes, sir.
But in 1 minute about myself, man, I'm a Christian, God-loving, God-fearing young man, and I love baseball. I train baseball players here in Statesboro. I've done it for over 20 years, and I just love what I do. That's my passion, is seeing young men grow, seeing not just young men but young women, because I train softball players as well, and just seeing them grow into the best that they can be, whatever it is, college, pro, whatever. Just seeing them grow into the best that they can be.
That's awesome. One thing I've noticed about you, Paul, since I've met you is how encouraging and motivational you are, and that's easily something that I can kind of be compatible with. And so what brought you to Statesboro? I know you've got an awesome background, so I'd love for you to tell some of the viewers about your background and what brought you to Statesboro.
So have been training kids for over 20 years, and I also have two sons that play. So my two sons, they were playing ball in Atlanta. That's where we're from.
The Cobb County Perfect Game.
Yes, they were playing for the East Cobb Astros, and they came home one day and was like, "Dad, this is too easy up here. We want something more." And so we started looking for academies, baseball academies, and we searched around. We got connected with IMG, and we were headed down there. But then someone came to us and said, "Hey, have you heard of Georgia Premier Academy down in Statesboro?" Had never heard of it, so my wife and I kind of did a little investigation on it, and we came down and visited the people, loved them, and we were like, this makes more sense as opposed to 9 hours away from home to 3 hours, staying in the state of Georgia. Right. And so my sons ended up, coming down here. So they were here a year ahead of me, and I got a call from their coaches, and they found out what I did as far as working with baseball players, and they asked me to come down and be a coach on the staff, and I didn't hesitate to be connected with my boys every day.
Get back with the family.
Boom. And that was it. And so, I was here for about a year and a half to 2 years, and my wife and my daughter, it was an opportunity for them to come down as well, and now the whole family is here in Statesboro, and we absolutely love the city of Statesboro.
That's awesome. I mean, I feel blessed to live here, and I'm sure you can attribute what's some of the differences in the Atlanta traffic and the Statesboro
Oh, man.
traffic.
I mean, and I don't miss the Atlanta traffic. Trust me, I love where I'm from, but I do not miss the Atlanta traffic, right, man. We don't hear people blowing at you as soon as the light turns green. Like, we're good. We can sit there for like half a second then go. But no, man, I just love it here. It's family based down here. Yep. I mean, and people care about you, and people will call and check on you. Like when there's any storm or anything around here, you get so many phone calls of people around checking, like, "Hey, how you doing? Is everybody okay?" And so, I just love that about this place, man.
It's a great town. I'm from the Atlanta area too. I'm from South Atlanta, Henry County, and I really thought my life would take me back there, but I feel very blessed to live in Statesboro. I love this community, and also, to have a Georgia Premier in your backyard is really cool. I have two boys that play baseball as well. Your boys are a lot further along than mine, but it's kind of neat watching their story and their growth. Shed a little light on how some of the looks that your boys are starting to get.
Well, I mean, since they came here, they've started to get a lot of looks from a lot of pro teams. Well, my youngest son, he's committed to the University of South Carolina, and my oldest son is committed to Florida Southwestern, a junior college in Florida. And so, once they were committed, a lot of the pro teams would see them at certain events and, would inquire about them. And Georgia Premier has done a really good job of getting them seen, putting them in the right events, putting them in the right spots to be seen. So in the development, that's the key thing I would love for parents to know. The development is the number one thing when it comes to your child, succeeding in the game of baseball, really in anything, but definitely in the game of baseball. They must be developed. And so Georgia Premier does a great job at that, man. And, I was blessed to have a hand in, seeing my boys grow and develop and being a part of that. So, yeah, man, great place, great people. And
if somebody was really good at baseball and they were really heating up and they're like, my boy's going to, hopefully play college baseball one day, what year would you recommend them to try out Georgia Premier if they could make the team, or what does that look like?
Well, typically around 8th or 9th grade would be, around that time where they would really want to dive into it, because it has to be a thing where that kid knows that that's what they want to do, because, it's not a normal high school.
That's right.
So you're forfeiting the prom, you're forfeiting the dances and the camaraderie with with friends and everything. So I mean, you have to.
And I think that's a player choice because, in a perfect world, my son has big dreams, big goals. He's going to tell you all the things he's going to do. But, like, that is something that you better love this thing because this is you make this decision, then your normal high school fun things that most people do, you're giving that up.
You're giving that up. And I mean, but now, like I say, you give that up, but you have the idea in your mind is, hey, I'm giving that up for something later on.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, like I say, the kid has to be ready for it, and more so, the parents have to be ready for it.
Yeah.
Like, even more than the kids, because maybe a kid that's local, they may not have to stay on on campus, but kids that are not from the area, well, they have to stay in dorms here. And so now, are you good to live on your own?
Right.
Are the parents good for you living on your own?
I mean, that's a big decision at an early age.
There you go.
Now, can you, if you're a local player and your son was really good, can you go to the local high school and still do the Georgia Premier? Can you shed any light on that?
Well, not really. So if you go to a local high school, it's more, you will probably have to attend that school and play ball there. So our kids, they go to school at Premier, which is online school, and they play ball there. So I don't think that wouldn't
So do you think it'd be too late? I mean, how late is too late to, like, could you go your junior year? Could you go your senior year? I mean, is that too late or not necessarily?
It wouldn't be too late, but I'll say the development that you would be missing
in those
times, because here's one of the great things about it is, while most kids are in biology class, you're in fielding class.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So during that time, like, they will be missing a lot.
I mean, and if it's your goal and your dream and it's in you, then you're gonna know hopefully at that time.
Yes. Oh, you would, man. But like I said, we do have kids that come in their junior year. We have kids that come within their senior year, sophomore. So it all varies.
So shed a little bit of light on this travel ball world. It's such a hot topic, and there's so many parents like myself that are in this travel ball world, and some could probably play twice the amount of tournaments that my boys play in. I'm okay with the level right now. What age would you feel like it really kind of, like, of course travel ball I think is needed, but, like, what age would you say you got to heat up and you need to go play for the best and those kind of things? Where are you at with that?
Well, I would look around the 12 to 13-year-old age. Now, and I say that, but my son started earlier,
right?
Okay,
but it was in your backyard.
It was right here in my backyard. It was right there in my backyard, so
story.
I didn't have to go chase it. But I would say around about 12 to 13-year-old age. The key is development. Like, and you don't have to play for a travel team to get developed. And,
that's right.
That's why we at Warrior Sticks Baseball Academy, what we do is we try to get the kids trained as early as possible, because if you are trained right and you're developed right, you can go play for your local travel team or your local high school team
and be ready to roll.
You can dominate. Because the key is you want to dominate where you are. It doesn't matter what level you are.
That's right.
You just want to dominate at that level. It doesn't matter if you're playing perfect game or you trip.
Right.
You should dominate where you are.
That's right.
And
so shed some light, Paul, on so you got down here. Georgia Premier was going awesome. You got to watch your boys watch them grow and get looked at and all that fun stuff. Tell the viewers a little bit about your journey to what you're doing now and shed some light on that. Super cool story.
So, man, it's crazy. So when I came here, man, I first met Al Chapman and you.
Yep.
Right. And so y'all were the first two that I even told about what I was thinking about doing. And man, I'm telling you, it's big to tell people who are going to be happy about what you're trying to do.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
You want the happy for you friends.
Yes, exactly, man. And so when I told you to, both of you guys, immediately you were like, well, let me see how I can help.
Boom, boom.
How could that's how it was. And once again, that made me understand how people are in Statesboro. Right. You know what I mean? So you two were two big examples of, like, hey, man, it's really good down here. But anyway, so I told you guys about what I was trying to do.
But stay with that. What you touched on is really cool. So if any entrepreneur listens to this, you have to speak things into existence. You have to kind of let people know where you want your goals in your life to head for. Now, you need some people to beat your goals, and not beat your goals down, but at least walk you through, hey, well, how does that work? What's the price? What does this cost? Like, but you also need to have good friends that you can go, look, I'm thinking about this idea.
Exactly.
What do you think? And then hopefully your friends go, yeah, boom, boom, boom.
And so, like I said, that's so big, man, to have somebody that you can speak to about what you want to do.
Right.
And like I said, once again, have them to be able to champion for you. Have them to be able to say, hey, man, you can do this. Oh, that would be great.
Yes.
Or not.
Right.
but
That's
you know what I
right,
mean?
Because you can't just, it's not all sunshine all the time.
No,
You've got, there's struggles and different things in all businesses.
It's not, man. But like I say, when I told you two about it, man, like the feeling that I got was, oh, I can really do this. You know, and that was that motivation that I needed to make me go ahead and pursue it. And,
That's right.
You know, and when I told you, you kind of put me in contact with some other people, man, and things just started happening. Things just started happening, man. A lot of prayers, you know, a lot of planning and a lot of prayers. And when I look up, boom, the facility is up, and you know we have everything that Statesboro and the surrounding areas need to be the best ball players that they can.
Highlight on what sets the Royal Sticks Baseball Academy. What makes it different? What makes it stand out, maybe as opposed to some other ones around town?
Well, so I'm big on technology. I'm a big believer in if I can't measure it, then I can't improve it. So we have all the latest.
I love data and stats. So for me, that speaks to me because it's all about numbers and data.
Yes, man. We're big on a lot of the latest technology. So we have Hit Tracks, which is a system that allows you to basically shows your swing. It shows your swing. It's a camera I can put on you. It shows your swing, shows you everything that you're doing within your swing, the good and the bad. It tells you how hard you're hitting the ball as far as miles per hour, tells you the launch angle. It tells you like the distance that you hit it. So you quantify those two, you put all those things together, right? Along with the natural eye, what you see and what you feel as a player. You put those things together and we develop a plan for the kid to continue to grow, to continue to, you know, to be successful. We also have a Rapsodo machine, which is a tool we use for pitchers, which tells you basically like what your spin rate is, how hard you're throwing, you know, what is your hand doing when the ball releases, you know, things like that. So like I said, we offer all the latest technology that every pro team and every Division I college has.
That's really neat. And from what I've heard is like lately, all the coaches and all the big ups, they're just looking at this stuff more and more.
Yes.
I mean, yes, they want to see you play the game and they need to see your average, but they also, you know, what's your exit velo and all these things.
Yes. And see, it all plays a part. Now, you know, I'm not just big on just the technology itself.
Right.
You know, you got to have the human element of I can see it, right?
That's
you can see talent when you're looking at it.
Right.
But if I take that talent and I use my eyes and I also use this technology and put it together, now we can get the most out of that talent.
Right.
Right. Instead of just, you know, just the basics. Like we don't want basic. You know what I mean? We don't do basic. No sir. No sir.
Now, when scouts like both your boys are getting looked at right now, which is really cool, especially South Carolina is such a big school, big baseball school. What would you say the top 5 things that, you know, scouts, college coaches are truly looking for? Like, what do you think out of anything that if you could just rattle off 5 stats, what would that be?
So number 1 would be your love for the game, and they're going to be able to see that by how you play and how you go about your business. If you're the first one out of the dugout, you know what I mean? If you're running in the dugout, coming off, you know, from an inning, if you're always talking up with your teammates, so that's the first thing that they're going to see. They're going to want to see
love for the game.
Yes, your love for the game. You know,
Grant Newman, listen to this.
Yeah. Another thing that they're going to want to see is your ability to play. Like that's going to be loud. Your play has to be loud, meaning when you hit the ball, does it jump off your bat?
That's right.
All right. You know what I mean? That's one thing. If you're a pitcher, when you throw the ball, is it jumping out of your hand?
Right.
Now, you know, in today's age, it's big on velo, right? But that's not the end-all, be-all. They want to know, can this kid find the strike zone?
That's right.
Can he consistently find the strike zone? So, you know, that's another thing. Another thing that they look at, and, you know, people might not like it. Some of these kids might not love it, but your defense. Man, there are only 32 players in the world that have a position that 30 players in the world that just have a position just to hit.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, 30 DHs.
It's only 30.
That's right.
Right? So everybody else has to play a position.
That's right.
So defense.
Yep.
Can you stop this other team from scoring runs?
Right.
And so that's really, really big, man. Another thing that they look at is your athleticism. They want to see how you move.
Multi-sport athletes, right?
Multi-sport athletes. That
You're real big on that too, right?
Well, yes, I am. Now, I'll say that I am. My boys only played
that's because
baseball.
Yeah, and that's because they went straight.
Yeah,
into
they went straight into it.
Right.
Exactly. But you got to be able to move.
Right.
And being a multi-sport athlete, it helps you. It really helps you do that. Another thing, man. The last thing I would say is be coachable.
Yes.
Be coachable. Be able to take direction. And they'll do that. Like a lot of these scouts, what they'll do, might not even know that they're there, and they'll come stand behind the dugout, and they'll just listen to how you interact with your coach. So, like I say, man, it is
being respectful, being coachable, focus, eye contact,
little
things like that.
That is so. Basically, a lot of the things that we tell our sons and our children about being a man.
Right.
That's some of the same thing that these scouts want to know, because they want to know, why should I spend money on you?
Right. That's right.
And so you got to give them a reason.
That's awesome.
Give them a reason.
That's awesome. So what would you say? What is your motivation and why? Why do you like to do what you do?
Man, my motivation is simply, I want to do what I'm called to do, what God has called me to do, and it's easy for me to just walk in His calling, right? I didn't set out to be a baseball trainer. I did that. That was not my goal as a kid growing up in Decatur, Georgia. That was not it, right? But I was just led to it. And if you don't fight it, that's in anything. I'll tell anybody, if you don't fight what God is calling you to do, it's going to be easy for you.
Right.
Now, actually doing it might not be easy, but finding your calling is easy, because He's always telling you. And we fight it a lot. Oh yeah. Right. We go with what I want to do, and the stuff that God is calling you to do, I promise you, is easy to walk to. You just keep going in that direction.
Keep taking the steps.
That's it, man. That's it.
And usually in life, when anything's ever really challenging, you had to make the decision to go from the Atlanta area, where there's really good baseball there in Cobb County, and come down to a little small town in Statesboro.
Oh, wow.
That was probably like, God, is this the right play?
And see now, and that's another reason why I started on Royal Sticks Baseball Academy here. Well, growing up in Decatur, in the Atlanta area, you're always told that the best baseball is in Atlanta. Yep. Right? The best baseball players is in Atlanta.
That's right.
And then I came here, and I started working with kids like your son, and I started working with kids, some of these other kids around here, and I'm like, hold on, man. It's really good baseball players.
That's right.
I mean, really good baseball players. The difference is they just weren't getting trained at a certain age. And I was like, that's what I'm here for. That is my call. I'm here to provide this because, man, there's so much good baseball around here. Not just in Statesboro, but in the surrounding areas. Yeah. Like I train kids from Savannah to Wrightsville to Rincon. Like they all come to here to Statesboro to see me, and I'm like, dude, this is crazy. It's a lot of talent here. So let's get this talent developed. Let's get it trained, and let's see where it can go. I mean,
and any dads want their kids to get better at baseball. It is baseball / softball. Paul and his crew is they're good people. I mean, they're really good, very motivational, and you won't go wrong. Go try it out.
Thank you.
But
thank you.
All right. So, what would you say has been one of your best investments that you've ever done, and would you, how would you repeat on that?
Wow. So, one of my best investments has been in my son's baseball career, and the reason I say that because I was coaching football in Atlanta. A school that is known for putting out a lot of great football players in Cedar Grove High School, multiple state championships. And one day I came home and was like, I'm done. I was just done. Well, in football, you're away from home a lot. So I came home one day. My son's
football coaches work their butts off.
It's every day.
In every level. And even the college level is like.
And so we were a school, we were having, 19, 20 kids going to college each year, so we had to be on the road taking these kids to these schools to be seen. So even in the summertime, I was never at home. So I come home one day, and my oldest son was like, Dad, you're never at home. I was like, oh, okay.
Go ahead and punch me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that'll check you up when your kid calls you out like that. My kids are brutal. They'll call me out in a heartbeat.
Dad, you're never at home. I'm like, okay, cool. So I mean, within that next month, man, I told my coach, I was like, Coach, and he's actually the running back coach at TCU right now. Like, he's big time. But anyways, I say, hey, Coach Smith, I can't do this anymore, man. And so, yeah, went on and went all in with baseball with my sons, and so like that was a huge investment because I was doing well with football. Like was moving up the chain to do some really good things in football, and it was like, okay, turn to the left. Let's do this thing a little different, man. And that was one of the biggest investments, and I see it paying off now with what's going on with them, man. And it's not just me, but my family made the investment as well.
That's right.
So,
well, because it takes everybody. It takes your wife. It takes your daughter to look. We're all at this, so it's a team effort. And and look, we all know it's going to be super hard to go all the way, right? To make it all the way to your highest level of dreams. But it's like, that's what makes life so fun, is like, go chase your dreams. Go chase them, man. Yes. Go have the hunger and the fire to go chase it. And like, look, your boys, your daughter, your family's going to be fine if they don't make it, but it's like, because you're going to give them the seeds that they need to be fine, but it's like, the chase is so cool. Oh, I mean, man. You're in the middle of the chase right now,
Yes, and that's why I try to tell parents. I actually provide information for parents. So if there are any parents that want to know, how to navigate this world, that's what I do. I help provide information for them. But, I mean, it is so critical that the family is involved with it. Like that is the big piece of it, man. The family,
and it's hard when you got multiple kids, like I have it too, you do too, and you got 3. And I mean, my daughter plays, both boys play, and it's like you are dividing and conquering sometimes. And you as a dad, you want to see every game.
You don't.
Possible.
It's not possible, man. It's not possible. I would have a kid in this state playing, and another kid in that state playing, and then my daughter she wasn't playing sports, but wherever my wife was going, she was with her.
That's right.
So
it can bring a family together, because baseball is such a beautiful sport that we love, but it's also, it can definitely divide you too with some of this travel ball stuff.
Definitely, man. And like I say, it's a necessary thing. Like travel ball, it is when you get to a certain age.
Well, and I don't know the rec departments in Atlanta, but honestly, and I hate to be like this, the rec department has just kind of failed. I mean, and I don't know if it's their fault, but it's the players are the players in the competition want. They're not playing there. Rec.
And part of the reason is travel ball.
Yes,
right.
Travel ball disrupted the rec ball system.
It really did. It really did.
When I was played at a really big high school. I was a good ball player. Obviously not good enough to go on and play college baseball, but I was good. And but there was not all this travel ball stuff. I played rec ball.
Man. I know, man. And so like when travel ball hit the scene, like you're right, it disrupted.
When did it hit the scene? When did travel ball come on the scene?
It had to be around the 2000,
early 2000s, like
somewhere
05,
in there.
06.
For to take off. Now there always was travel ball, but it didn't take off like this
every weekend in every town.
No.
And hey, everything's a World Series. Hey, we playing the World Series this week? Well, I thought that was a World Series.
Yeah, man. And, well, it's these 2 letters that have taken over. Those PG letters.
Yes.
Oh, that PG? Yes. Oh, sir, it is just taking over.
I am thankful PG's coming to Statesboro.
Yes, me too. I love it.
Great fields. I'm like, wow, finally we are getting some PG tournaments this
yes.
And so I don't have to maybe travel an hour or 2 away. I could go 20 minutes down the road.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm excited about that.
Yes, man. And that's what we're doing. We're here to kind of, we have some other stuff in the works that we're trying to bring some more fields here to Statesboro, as well as get Perfect Game here a lot more. So maybe we got some things in the works, but man, this travel ball scene is huge, and I would love for parents to just take it slow when you're going into it. Like don't 100%. just say, hey, jump from team to team. It's because it's not about wins and losses in travel ball.
It's not.
No college coach has ever asked me, hey,
how'd you do at 9U?
They have never said. They don't care about that, right? They don't care about that.
I think a lot of it's the parents' egos and pride and stuff. And look, Grant's team, they had a great 9-year-old team. I bet we won 5 of 7 tournaments.
That's right.
Great, but it's like you don't even remember. We were good. We got the rings.
Yeah.
You don't remember. No. And I was bringing that up to Grant the other day. I said, do you remember? He's like, no. I said, that's why you got to keep yourself right here.
Yes, man. Yes.
Because yes, you may have lost the tournament, but it doesn't. It doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things.
It doesn't matter.
Keep getting better. Play with your buddies and keep pushing.
That's it, man. And it's that, like I say, that development. The more you play, the more you develop. And that's the thing about baseball. You want to be playing games. So I would just tell parents, don't worry about your child being the best one on the team. Like, that's what we did. The reason we left the team was when my child became the best on the team.
You don't want that. You want to be right there in the middle, because guess what?
Yes.
You got somebody pushing you to go higher.
That's right.
And
man.
that's what I want for my boys.
Yes.
I want them, somebody pushing them. I mean,
exactly.
all the time.
Exactly, man.
Because guess what? Even if you're middle of the road on your team, whoever the best kid on your team is, guess what? There's 10 times better kids than that kid.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Of
It's
course.
not even close.
Of course, man. And
there's always somebody better. And when you're the best one, you're not in the right room.
No, you're not, man.
That's that way in life too. You want to surround yourself in these rooms that people are doing better than you.
That's right. That's right. And that's why I saw that when I came down here, and so I started, talking with people like you and people like Al and some other people around here, man, that just have kind of elevated me, because I see what you guys are doing.
That's right. You want to be inspired. You want to be inspired by anybody around you. I mean, you're supposed to, look up. You're supposed to help people right there at your same level, and you're supposed to reach your hand down.
That's right. Pull them
up.
That's right, man. And so that's where I'm at now, man. I'm here to help. We are here for this community. My goal is for there to be multiple state championships at every level in all of these high schools here in Statesboro. And not just in Statesboro, in Bullitt County, period.
Yep.
Right? There just really should be.
And baseball's taking a big step up. I have both of mine like to play basketball, and my daughter as well. Basketball is really kind of struggling. I don't know how we cracked the basketball code. I don't know if there's travel basketball. There's no travel basketball team in Bullitt County that I know of. For the size of our county, for there not to be a single travel that's kind of mind-blowing.
Well, somebody out there, they put it together.
That's
what I'm saying?
Hey,
somebody put it together.
Existence.
Yeah,
Come on,
man.
get it rolling.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I do love the chase of baseball. I think what you're doing, Paul, is really impressive with the technology piece and inspiring a young group of ball players to, like you said, hopefully a lot of these ball players go on to play for their high school team, and you come to you and go, Paul, man, I want a state championship. And you'd be like, bam, man, high five. That would be so cool.
I would love it. That's what I'm waiting on, man. Yes, sir.
Okay, so last three questions here. How do you like your coffee?
Man, okay, so I like my coffee cream, but the creamer has to be a flavor. I love flavored creamer. So right now, butter pecan is
that was my old ice cream, was the butter pecan.
Oh, I still love it.
Is it pecan? Or
is it pecan or pecan? I don't know. Whatever it is, that's what I love,
that's
man.
Right.
Seriously, so I'm a big butter pecan.
Okay. And are you stopping at 1 or 2 cups, or do you get that afternoon
it's the
cup?
Day. It depends on what the day is.
Whether that energy level needs to kick up a little
man. Because sometimes it is a 2-cup day.
Right.
And then sometimes just once.
There you go.
My wife's trying to keep me. Hey, you only need that 1 cup, but hey, man.
You can drink multiple cups, but see, if you get into all the extra sugar, it's not as good for you. You got to drink it black. You got to step up and drink that thing black.
I tried, man. I tried, but that butter pecan sitting right there, and I'm just like, I gotta have it, man. Gotta have it.
What would you say if you had an extra $100,000 laying under the mattress? What would you do with it? What would you think that you'd want to put it in?
Oh man, honestly, real estate. Like
Always.
that's the thing. Right now, I would put it into real estate, man. Get about 6 or 7 units and let it roll. Just let it roll, and keep doing that, man. That's exactly what I would do.
And you think about so many people get caught. Some people don't have the extra money to invest, and of course, so that means what do you got to do? You got to save more and kind of figure out or earn more. Sometimes you can't save yourself to getting wealthy or to buying that property. You got to figure out a way to earn more, and then you can put it back. But
that's right.
Real estate is something that you kind of think about, but you got to take action and do it. Like there's so many of my friends and just people in general, they go, I'm gonna do that one day, or you got to do it. You can't talk about it. You got to be about it.
No, because that's what happens, man. A lot of times people, they say they're gonna do things, and when they have that opportunity, when those resources come across their hands, they go and do something else. Like, no, be diligent. Go ahead and do that, man. And that's one thing, with my sons being blessed to be on the path of their own, they're gonna be with people like you.
That's right.
So when their time comes, it's gonna be, hey, take this.
Let's go invest
put this over there and let's go.
And and something as simple as just a single house that you might live in when you first move in, and then you keep it as a rental property, and that's another front door on your path to financial freedom.
Yes, exactly, man. Like my daughter, she was talking about that the other day. Like, she wants to set herself up for when she's an adult.
And I think having these conversations with our daughters and our son and our kids below us and kind of teaching them the financial word. And the earlier, money's always been such a taboo subject for so many, but I believe that you really have to talk about money with your kids.
Yes.
You're not talking about, I make X dollars, but you need to talk about, hey, have you thought about credit? Have you thought about saving? All those things play out.
Yes, man, because, a lot of people, they have their hang-ups when they're talking about money, but shoot, those same people spend 8 hours a day trying to make money, right?
That's right.
So, like, you're going to need it to live. So,
it's a tool to do the fun things you want. Yes. It's not necessarily, I got X dollars. It's literally, I like the hustle and chase because if I want to go, watch a front row Hawks game, then I can do it.
You can do that,
I don't
man.
have to blink.
No.
So it's being able to do what you want to do. And that's what money's for.
And for me, it's more like I want to be able, if somebody calls me and say they need some help with something, I want to be able to help them. Yep. And if I don't have the funds to do it, like, okay, then why don't I? I need to acquire that so I can help someone else. And so that's the thing.
And giving back, right? Like you make a certain amount and we're called to help others. That's one of the number one thing in this life we can do is helping others. And that's why I feel like you have a business, right? Like Royal Sticks is a business.
Yes.
But you're also making somebody better. That is so cool.
That's
to me.
The number one thing. I was telling another parent, like, that's my biggest thrill in coaching is seeing the kids start at one level.
Yep.
And within a year, they're at another level, right? And now it's like, okay, how much better can we get?
That's right.
Right? And then can we go even further than that? And that's my thing. That's my way of working with kids. I never train a kid according to their age. I train them according to what they can handle. So if this kid can handle more
that's right.
at 11 years old, well, we're not going to keep him at 11. We're going to advance him. We're going to push him. We're going to push him, man. So, I'm all about seeing everyone that come across my path be better than what they were before they met me. That's it,
anybody
man.
listening that loves the sport of baseball like we do, go see Coach Paul, Royal Sticks Academy. Great things popping, and it was awesome to have you on the show.
Man, great to be here. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
You know it.